What do you think about mid-shadow in this particular list? Do you think any other form of Shadowcraft deck, like Nephthys or anything, is taking more favor, or do you think this is kind of the list to run?
Well, I'll say that Nephthys is extremely strong right now. Saris is also great in that deck. Twilight Queen, a new legendary that we'll cover once we get to a Neph deck, added a lot of consistency to what the deck can do. So it's essentially a different deck. You're running a different curve now, 4 drops instead of 3 drops. And also Atomy. My pet deck is finally a real deck. Atomy is so good right now.
It run a DCT, man.
Yeah, it did. You guys thought it was memes. Not so memey anymore.
Well, remember, let's go back in the day a little bit. Remember back in the day when no one wanted to even look at Soul Dealer, but then Soul Dealer started being really good when Vengeance Blood was a deck? You know, like, it's the same thing. They built a lot of support for an archetype. I'm not sure if it was intended, but they built a lot of support for an archetype, and it just happens to be incredibly good. Atomy is at the top of the... Yeah, and it's consistent. It's at the top of the world right now. So, good on it.
Oh, go ahead.
Okay. No, I was just going to say, I hope to actually see an Atomy deck today.
Oh, yeah, 100% I hope. I don't know if players on the West have really caught on to Atomy yet. I don't see it a lot on ladder. And I definitely haven't seen one in a tournament ever, really. But yeah, I really hope to see that deck. So in this match, we noticed that the matchup a little bit different now. Both players decided to ban out Sword this time. They listen to us, they're watching, and they're listening to us. They know. They know. So we get to actually see some Prime Dragon Keeper here. Talk to us about Prime Dragon Keeper. Why is it good? Why are people playing it?
All right. Prime Dragon Keeper is a 3 play point follower that is a 1/5 that when it's an overflow, it can't be attacked. And also, while it's an overflow, whenever you play something that has the original cost of 3 or less, it'll do 2 damage to an opposing follower, and it'll do 1 damage to the opponent's face. So the reason that this is incredibly good is because the entire, speak of the devil, the entire deck is literally centered around Prime Dragon Keeper. So you want to ramp as quickly as you can, and another Prime Dragon Keeper.
Oh, lordy.
That is scary,
We'll get to see that card in action starting next turn, especially against Forest.
There's not much Forest can really do about it. But continuing forward, another reason that it's so good is that it sets up damage for you to be able to hit really hard in the later game with cards like Forte and Genesis Dragon. So you're just softening your opponent up while controlling the board at the same time and setting up for really big lethal.
Yes, and really easy. So now we get to see the value. So right now, can't be attacked, 1/5, very hard to deal with. We do see a Dance of Death, but that would take up the entire turn of Dasvi next turn. Probably going to do it. Usually when you see a Prime Dragon Keeper, you're going to kill it out. But
yeah,
every single time you play... Yeah, snap kill. Every single time you see a follower come into play, a Dragon follower that costs 3 play points or less, it's going to deal 2 damage to a random enemy follower and 1 damage to the enemy itself. So... especially after evolution, it's just so hard to deal with for most decks, and it just incremental value. Ivory Dragons come in to deal damage, redraw you cards. You know, you've got Matilda to come down and draw you into a Flame Lizard, or a Fire Lizard rather, and it can deal an extra damage when it comes into play, so it essentially deals 3, so just tons of value in the end of the game. Plus, you get to play 3 Dragoon Scythers now. Dragoon Scyther has always been great, but in this deck, it is absurd. I know I've been using that word a lot today, but my god, are some of these new interactions and synergies absurd that they came out with in Starforged Legends. I love it.
I actually am incredibly happy about, and I know some people are going to be like, oh my god, Aya, what's wrong with you, man? But I am incredibly happy about Prime Dragon Keeper as a card. It just... the idea of the card, to me, is incredible. It's something that you build around, and it's incredibly flexible to build around. You can build the same kind of early game that most of the decks are playing, but you can run a Ramp Dragon package. You can jam Bahamut, you can jam Zeus's, you can jam
whatever you want. I mean, it's still Ramp Dragon. Yeah.
Yep. It's still Ramp Dragon. You just have a more solid mid game that And the other thing about Prime Dragon Keeper is that it can bait out a lot of your opponent's options, so that when you jam those big things, it's just that much harder to deal with.
So let's kind of cover the last couple turns. So the Bestmarmotte did pre-evo the Prime Dragon Keeper, but did not use it to take out the 2-1 to basically guarantee damage on the Fina, and ended up having to trade his Scyther into the Fina. So kind of losing a little bit of value with that play. We also see Dasvi on the return just go for a combo turn instead of dealing with one of the Prime Dragon Keepers, saying, you know what, I don't care about your combo, I'm going to win first. But there's no Nature's Guidance or Airbound Barrage in hand yet.
Yeah, that's what I find to be a little bit questionable. See, while he has the 2-0s, he doesn't have the damage in hand necessary to be able to follow through with the way that he played out that previous turn. So I don't exactly know what he's intending to do. And right now, this board is really big, and Cassiopeia is not going to deal with it.
Oh, he got it. Okay.
Wow.
Can he set up a lethal here? So he has access to all roaches and 2-0 costs. I believe no, because
he doesn't
have any evos. So yeah, he cannot kill this turn, which honestly he should have thought about, right? Even in under perfect scenario, like where you get this draw, where you get your Airbound Barrage or Nature's Guidance, can I kill my opponent? That's why I set up my combo turns. But even looking at this, he just can't. So he's gonna have to do a defensive route with either, you know, the Fairy Beast or a Cassiopeia, but Cassiopeia doesn't do anything right now against these Prime Dragon Keepers. There's 12 toughness just between those two followers.
Right. It does nothing. His Dance of Death now is just sitting there like, well, I don't do anything.
Yep. Whoops.
You know, so that was one of those times where you should have considered taking that Prime Dragon Keeper. I don't think people really know that yet. I don't think people know immediately, you know what, gotta kill it.
You cannot take time against Prime Dragon Keeper. One of its inherent good things about it, like the thing that makes it really good, is it just keeps chipping your opponent every single turn it's in play. Every single time you play these small followers and fill up your board, you're dealing extra damage. And then all of a sudden, Genesis Dragon or Forte pops out, and then it's crazy. Like, then I have to deal with all these followers I can't attack. They have so much toughness. What am I supposed to do against all of this? And I think that Dasvi kind of put himself into this awkward situation.
Yeah. By not taking out that Prime Dragon Keeper, now he's suffering the consequences of his actions. This definitely feels bad.
Yes. Now we can just see another trade. Some Iella's come down. He could even play Iella with a Sybil if he wants to go back up to 20. I mean, options endless here.
Hey, putting yourself at 1 damage out of any potential lethal is great, but that's not what he wanted to do. He wanted to apply as much pressure as he could and just keep playing things that would do damage.
So he
did
play
draw another Airbound Barrage.
1, 2, 3, 4, and then he can go 5, 6, 7, which is so close.
Yeah, it's not there.
1 damage off from being able to win here.
This is one of those moments where you just feel awful.
Yep, I needed to deal 1 extra chip damage this turn, or this game. And that Dance of Death on that given turn would have done it.
Would have given him the damage, yep.
And we would have been on the same turn, less damage to his face. He still would have had the turn to Evo the Fina if he needed to. So just ordering, forest combo ordering is super important.
Think about how much damage he took just by not killing that 1 Prime Dragon Keeper.
Yep.
Most of the damage he took was because he didn't kill the 1 Prime Dragon Keeper.
Right.
Yep.
So he's going to do the roach business. He's going to do it all.
Well, he may as well.
Right.
Feels awful. Yep. And, you know, that feeling when you just... I'm 1 off of lethal.
Yeah. I'm telling you, man, Angelic Snipe, if you're playing Roach and you're not playing at least a copy or 2 of Angelic Snipe in your deck, you're probably doing something wrong. Angelic Snipe instead of one of those Airbound Barrages would have been lethal.
Yeah. I actually run 2 Angelic Snipes on my list, so yeah, I've been loving it.
Keep in mind, there's a lot of new cards to run. I get that, you know, spring green protection, you know, Airbound Barrage, all these new fancy things. But if you're playing Roach combo, still got to play a little bit of Roach combo.
Well, you should have enough room, right? You're not gonna run. You don't have to run 3 spring greens.
It's tough. It's tough. I don't think
Yeah.
you run 3 of that card, but I think you run about 2 of it, maybe 1 just for value if you need to squeeze some cards in. But like, there's a lot of good cards that you can play in Forest now. It's hard to build.
Yeah, that's true. Well, we got Aggro Blood, one of the decks we were talking about before this match, coming up against Mid Shadow. That's not a hand you want.
No. As far as Bestmarmotte is concerned, we're talking.
Right.
As far as
Dasvi,
that is exactly the type of hand you like.
Yeah. Oh, and a double Caraboss draw.
Not necessarily what you want to see, but at least he'll have that end game.
Yeah. Hey, at the very least, he'll be able to jam the Caraboss, and it's animated. Good on you, brother.
That's right.
Love my animated card.
Animated cards are great. That's one of the greatest reasons to play this game, beyond just the fact that it's awesome, is that the animations on the art are just crazy cool.
For now.
Yep. So, let me ask you, if it's just random, if you could animate any card right now that you don't have already animated, what would it be?
That I don't already have animated.
Don't have animated.
Altered Fate.
Altered Fate. Ah, okay.
I love the art on that card. Love it.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
I just want to see it sitting there. I might not play it in every deck, but I'll tell you what, I'll be looking at that thing.
Hey, it gives you a reason to build OTK Dragon. Hey, man, you got Prime Dragon Keeper. You can put Prime Dragon Keeper and OTK Dragon.
Oh,
Pop,
okay.
pop, pop.
New decks, people. We're going back to my old school. Playing some OTK Dragon with Prime Dragon Keeper. I'm in. I'm already sold. I'm building it right after this stream today. Let's go.
Okay,
well, Urias put in a ton of work here.
Urias tends to do that again, you know.
That's with kind of a misplay there, taking an extra free damage.
Yeah, he really took damage he didn't need to take. I know that sometimes you kind of get like a bit of a tunnel vision. You kind of forget that certain effects take place, and I know how that is. But things like that, you know, that 1 damage, especially since we see that he doesn't have any heals in his hand, could come back to bite him later.
More than come back to bite him, he's playing against Aggro Blood, where if damage counts, that is one deck where damage counts more than most decks, like every single point. Because they are trying to get you from 20 to 0 as fast as they possibly can. And you helping them out, not what you want to do. But this play, absolutely absurd. I love it.
That's the word of the day for you, man.
I love it, man. I love Starforged Legends. Like, synergy is back. It's great.
I am above all else. I am ecstatic to see how much synergy has returned to the game. Like, not just simple, you know what, man? I'm gonna play my really big guy, and you're just gonna die. Like, it's not more of that. It's no more of that.
This new Dark Blade Fiend right here is doing massive work.
It is.
And because of the blood-fed flower bed, that's gonna be game.
Yeah,
even without blood-fed, honestly.
Yeah, well, I mean, he kind of, well, no, it is definitely because of the blood-fed, because he took the damage the last turn. So,
right.
He actually killed himself.
I mean, there is 14 damage staring down, so two activations of blood-fed technically didn't matter in this scheme of things, but still, that Morphine essentially allowed for this win to just like be free.
Good job.
Taking extra damage, I don't care. I got sweet cards. Let's go.
Yep. Ektar still doing Ektar things. Pumping board, taking name.
What's super interesting to me is looking at these mid-shadow lists, and obviously Ektar is being able to show how good it is, that huge, you know, +2 damage buff across the board.
It got nerfed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really think, I really think the key cards here, because obviously in the last expansion, right, Ektar, after it was nerfed, was not quite as prominent.